Mooning of the werewolf. Oh, no, wait a minute. That's not right. No, not moon. Yeah. Moon. Moon of the werewolf. Moon. Greetings, dear listeners. Do you know what mooning is? Mooning? No, I'm not referring to being lost in a daydream with your head in the clouds and your mind absorbed in building castles in the air. That ain't what I'm talking about. No, what I'm talking about is dropping your pants and flashing your bare buttocks, your bare butt, at complete strangers in order to both startle and insult them, with the best moments of shock and awe being accomplished by mooning out the window of a speeding car. We were cruising one night in my buddy Andre's car. Let me rephrase that. My buddy Andre's parents' car, a Rambler, an army green Rambler, a Rambler painted army green. Now, a Rambler was considered a small car back in the day. So, in other words, it was twice the size of most modern cars and could sit half a dozen jokers comfortably. We called it the Moonmobile. The Moonmobile. Our crew consisted of 4 astronauts. Me, Andre, Dave, and Fast Eddie, and we'd all taken a turn, turning a cheeky cheek towards our unsuspecting victims. But our prime mooner, the prime moonister of Canada, was Fast Eddie, and after a while, he became our exclusive mooner. Fact is, Fast Eddie wasn't all that swift. But being the nice guys that we were, we figured that if he enjoyed mooning so much, we'd let him carry on. Now, among the local weirdos in our town was a guy we called Balloonhead, as he had a big, round, bald head that reminded you of, a balloon. Nobody knew his real name or where he came from. My guess was someplace like Transylvania. The one thing we did know about him was that we didn't like him, and he didn't seem to like us. Balloonhead lived in a rundown bungalow on one of the meaner streets, alone. Early in the evening of a wet and overcast day, we found ourselves rambling past his house while Balloonhead stood on his front lawn, staring up at the soggy clouds. This was Fast Eddie's cue to spring into action, and as we came to a stop, he turned, dropped his drawers, and stuck his butt out the window. The effect was instantaneous. Balloonhead's jaw dropped, and his mouth gaped in surprise. We idled for about 30 seconds as he stood frozen with astonishment. But then he began to sputter, and we took off. 10 out of 10, man. That was a 10 out of 10. Fast Eddie fell back laughing, and we all had to admit that as a drive-by mooning, it would be hard to top or bottom. In any case, we didn't try and behaved ourselves for the rest of the evening. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. We behaved ourselves. We behaved ourselves for the rest of the evening until we passed by Balloonhead's house around 11 o'clock on our way home, and of course, Fast Eddie had to moon the place, even though all the lights were out, and Balloony was no doubt in bed or in his coffin or wherever he slept. The night had cleared since our last visit, and another moon, round and yellow, hung in the sky, and Eddie was letting it all hang out when around the side of the house, a huge gray wolf appeared. A huge gray wolf running on 2 feet, on its hind feet, like it was human, or at least humanoid. It seemed to stand about 8 feet tall and was moving so fast it caught up to the car in just a few seconds. Fast Eddie was still fumbling to pull his pants back up when Andre stopped the car. Stopped it dead. Hey, what you doing, man? Keep going, Eddie screamed. I can't, Andre said calmly. I've got a red light. And then Eddie screamed again, except this time he said, It's got me. It's bit me right in the ass. Andre floored it, red light or no, while Fast Eddie collapsed back into the car, showering us with blood and bits of bum and underwear. At the hospital, it took over 40 stitches to close up all the bite, claw, and chew marks to Eddie's bum cheeks. We told them that he'd been attacked by a feral dog, but they didn't believe us. And when Eddie tried to tell them he had been bitten by a werewolf, they said he was becoming delirious. And so we all shut up. Fast Eddie had trouble sitting for a time and retired from mooning. We all did. We'd run into Balloonhead from time to time, and he would always stare at us with this smirk on his face. But was he the werewolf? Was it a werewolf? Your guess is as good as mine, dear listeners. But something bit and clawed Eddie's butt. A few years after these events had taken place, I ran into Eddie one night in a bar and asked him if he still suffered any permanent effects from the attack. Damn right I do, he said. Every time there's a full moon, great clumps of thick gray fur break out all over my butt. All over my butt. I have to shave it off and well, that's not the worst of it. The worst of it is I also grow a tail. A tail! But that, dear listeners, is a tale for another time. The moral of the story? It's all fun and games till somebody moons a werewolf. Video used in today's upload is courtesy of Dr. Curious and shows the full snow moon of February 2024, while the music was the classic Lightless Dawn by that patron of the internet, Kevin MacLeod. As for me, dear listeners, I'm currently fighting the mother of all colds, but as the show must go on, I thought I would begin my recovery with this cheeky story. This cheeky story. I hope you find it the living end and not a real bummer. Cheers.